Well, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. We've had to have an unforeseen break due to a unscheduled update to update 1.39, but we couldn't be releasing 1.38 videos whilst 1.3839 was about. And we've also kind of had an interruption to our flow of grind races. It would have been nice to get them all into one update and do the final race, but we're only 4 or 5 away, so we're in the last quarter. And today we have this little pleasure. It's the Pagani Huayra, if that's how you say it. There are a number of pronunciations, but it's an Italian beast and therefore it will have its own level of class. It's got style, it's got grace. It looks the absolute piece, doesn't it, with the 4-port exhaust in the centre, typical of any Pagani. Maybe the Zonda, it has that family look. Let's take a look at the setup. When we purchased this from Brand Central, it came in at 667 pp without any additions, so there was very little we can do to it. When we put racing hard tyres onto it, it went to 727 pp against the target for this race of 700, so all we've had to do is scale things back. It's carrying 667 brake horsepower, which is still a third over what some of the cars have for this race, and this is probably a supercar for a race car race rather than a road car, but it is a road car. So normal suspension, no adjustments because you can't make any. Fully customizable diff with change to 555. That's going to tame things down a bit. Downforce is a bit unusual here. We haven't put the front on, but we've got the sides and the rear wing, so limited downforce changes. 250 on the front, and the rear has got everything to keep that back end in place. Fully customizable ECU tuned to 87, just so we can take the power out of it to get that PP down. Transmission manual at 420, that also reduces the PP. We've got no other changes. It looks like it's turbocharged anyway. It's got a normal intercooler. Everything else is normal. We've added the brake controller if we want to change anything. Normal clutch and flywheel, nothing else added, and increased body rigidity installed because that also brings the PP down. We're at 699.03. There's probably a little bit of rear wing tuning you could do to bring that back end up, but not a massive amount. I don't think it'll make much change. Let's just go and have a little flick at it, see what we can do with it. Yeah, it'll come up a little bit if you really want to tune it to where it goes. We could tune it to the optimal, which will increase our speed down the straight. One would suggest it'll be minimal, but let's see how far it goes and see how many people I can annoy with those beeps. Yeah, there we go. That's the maximum, 699.95. So we took 17 points out the rear wing. Let's get to the track. Here we are at the circuit of the World Touring Car 700. Settings for the race today will be assist, traction control 1, default ABS. We do have ASM on and counter steer assistance on strong. Controller settings, controller sensitivity 5, force feedback max torque 5, force feedback sensitivity 6. Well, we anticipate that this will be, as we've reduced the PP, and by doing so we've reduced the horsepower by reducing the output on the ECU, I think this will be a fairly fuel efficient car. We've got hard tyres on because we were being stingy, and we basically decided that we would go as long as we can on the set of tyres. This is all going to depend on rain, so currently I'm planning for a 2-stop, and that will allow us to change onto wets and back off. But let's see where we go. I think it won't be very fuel hungry, so we should be able to run a bit of power once we've determined what setup we're running. So I'm going to chuck it onto 6 to start with, see where it goes. Around the outside of Mr. Bishop maybe. We haven't got the big brakes on, so we just have to be mindful of that. The 555 rear diff setting really does take any snap out of the acceleration. Don't expect to lose the rear end quite as much as you possibly could. A little bit of drift there with the hard tyres. Oh, Mr. Kellerman dived down the inside there. Absolute dive bomb. Here we go down the straight. So fuel's looking pretty decent. We should get to the bottom corner for 2.5, so we will get 3 laps out of it, I think. Let's see what top speed we're getting. Looking for the braking point into the 190s. Here she is, 194. Last time I looked. We're into 10th place. It's absolutely flying. And it's so peaceful, it's so leisurely. That engine note is so good. I think it's more relaxed, it's well within its stride. Into 6th place. There's a 7th gear as well, so we want to fuel save. Fuel is good. We could probably wring its little neck a little bit. Up into 5th place. Definitely feel that the brakes could do with an upgrade, but as it is, we will be where we will be. Try and say that. We will be where we will be. Oh, it is what it is. It's so much easier to say. So, 4th place, Mr. McEwen out front, followed by Mr. Portilla. Mr. Blazon is there in front of us. We can see all 3 of them. What we don't know at this point is what the weather's going to do. So whilst we know we've got the fuel, let's get it over onto the weather map. We don't anticipate seeing a massive amount of weather until midway through the 2nd lap. Five seconds off the lead. There they are, queued up in front of us. The front end didn't want to turn in there. That's the issue of having no downforce, or minimal downforce. We've got 250 points, which is more than most cars, but maybe I went in there too quickly. I expected to get a penalty from running that far wide, but just going to have to be careful in the wet, as and when the wet comes. Mr. Kewen and Mr. Portilla making a race of it. The sky seems to be greying up a fraction. Absolutely steaming. We don't get the top speed that we got last time round, but we get in front. Just waiting for that weather to arrive. 1.9 the fuel gauge, so we've got plenty going for us there. So 3.9 seconds in the lead. I'm just really enjoying the drive here. It's very difficult to talk when you're enjoying something quite so much. It's so easy. It's predictable. It doesn't move about all over the place. Rain, bottom left-hand corner. We can see it from the southwest. But we're just going to have to see how this reacts to the wet. It tends to be a little bit... I think it will tend to be a little bit slidey in the front. Big thick band of rain. Big dark blue patch coming in the middle of it. Do we think we'll get a third lap in? We're going to aim to. 5.08 seconds out the front. Let's get this corner right this time. Third gear was able to pull that front end back in then. Yeah, we're going to aim for that third lap. I think we've seen this rain before. We're going to hopefully slide between those heavy patches of rain. We're going to see the AI come with us. They won't all pit, I'm pretty sure. If we see them pit, we've made a mistake. Mr. McEwen's gone to the pit, Mr. Portilla's carried on. The rain's about to start. Let's see if we can get to the straight before we get some heavy stuff. It looks like it's breaking up, but it's very grey now. Looks very overcast. Here it comes, and it's quite strong. There's a bit of depth on the track, but let's keep plodding on. Whatever rain is coming isn't very strong. We might be able to pit in and go straight on to another set of hards. 9 seconds in the lead. Fastest lap of 4:03 on fuel map 6. That is without even trying. This has got to be the second fastest car we've used. It is a supercar, admittedly, but it's in its stride. That engine note sounds so aggressive but relaxed. Well, the helicopter's out, it's not gone away, and we're just pulling through the last of the rain. It's highly probable that we could see a full race on hards. That would be great. That would mean this car is in threat of making the 8th lap already. "13 seconds in the lead. With no requirement for wet tyres as yet. Just being very, very cautious about the entry to that corner, as I'm just focusing and concentrating. Now fuel is telling us we have to pit, which I'd forgotten about. So let's dive into the pit. Some 20 points in the lead. 20 points, 20 seconds. And it looks like we've got clear skies ahead, but it's still very grey. Pit lane entry is dry. Not wet at all. We are going to keep the same tyres. They don't look worn at all. And we're just going to take fuel. "22 seconds in the lead. We used 89% of fuel, so that'll be the majority of our stationary time. Mr. Portilla in as well, 13% of fuel. Fuel going in. Mendoza, Yamanaka, Blazan all come to the pits, shuffling around into the various pit boxes, and we're away. And is that more rain coming bottom left hand corner? It looks like it. Little bit damp there, but no sign of any water on the track, so that's just down to us overshooting with the standard brakes. Driver error. Mr. Hayward comes through into second, some 14 seconds down. Nobody's gone for wet tyres, it seems, at this point. Oh, and that's just a thin band of rain. There's no threat of any real heavy stuff. Just got to treat it like a summer's day. Looking for that braking point. 190 mile an hour plus. 193 it was this time. "16 seconds in the lead." It absolutely, it's not strenuous at all, this. Oh, if only all cars were this easy to get up through the gears and down the gears. It would be nice to have better brakes. We could probably put the better brakes on, take away a bit of power, but that will just improve fuel economy. Because not forgetting, we've reduced the fuel map, so we're probably running significantly less power. But if we can improve the fuel economy, we could push that fuel map back up and give ourselves more. It's the old classic trade-off, isn't it? It's one thing for less. Someone was suggesting with the previous setup I'd done that you could actually add weight. And because you're adding weight over the front wheel, you don't need the front downforce, so you could remove the front splitter, saving PP. And then you could jack the power up to make up the difference. And I fully agree with that. You can do whatever you want with these setups. They're free to play with. They're default. They're not copyrighted by anybody, and as a platform they're all stable. They all drive really, really well. Sometimes there's a little bit of tweaking we have to make, but what these setups try to be is inclusive, to allow you to know that within the game you can have a fully functioning car with minimal messing around. So we're chasing down the side of that cloud bank now. It looks like the sun's fighting through. It's going to start to heat the track up because the track should be pretty cool after that rain. Coming round to finish lap 4, 13.15 seconds remaining as we just miss an apex. Oh, I was looking at the time. Naughty, and we get a full 3.5 second penalty. That was a bit naughty, wasn't it? Uh-oh. We're good. We'll have to take that slap on the wrists. I was looking at the time, trying to give an accurate indication of time, and I missed my braking point. Mr. Hayward went to the pits. We are 30.7 seconds in the lead. Mr. Portilla comes through 40.7, 40.1 seconds almost. Knowing that we've got one more pit stop to go at the end of lap 6. We've missed the braking point again. Watch those penalties rack up. Again, I was looking at the timing. I wasn't concentrating on where I was going. This is the downforce. The downfall of a really comfortable car that you're driving. Is it feels so relaxed. It feels like the car is actually in control, and actually it lulls you into that false set of security, and you're not really concentrating on what you're doing because it seems so easy. It's a real shame. This is not going to be the fastest lap, purely because we're going to have to go stationary for those 3.5 seconds, or at least slowed down. More rain appearing at the bottom of the screen. We're only 0.6 of a second behind where we were for the fastest lap. Oh, it looks like trouble with this current rain cloud, maybe. 47 seconds. It looks like we've got a free pit stop in here. So we could pit for one and still be in the lead. It doesn't look like a terribly menacing band of cloud. It has rain in it. It has a hole in it, should I say, as well as rain. It looks like we could be getting to the end of lap 7 and just having to just back off a little bit, just so we don't run into lap 8. Here's that rain we talked about. It's a little bit of a downpour, but it's isolated. There's a small patch of green in there, which seems to be skirting wide of the circuit. Lap 6, 8 minutes 48 to go. We're going to pit at the end of this lap. And we don't have to take tyres, but if we're looking to absorb time, it might be exactly the right time to put on a set of tyres. Braking on the 200. There is water on the track, but it's not affecting our tyres' performance. Not to any great degree. We are 54 seconds into the lead. No car has entered the Mulsanne straight yet. They're just about to. "59 seconds. It's faultless, this car. For what we've done to it, for what's available for it. Well, it's easy money. It's probably the perfect grind car. I say that. This is probably my number one choice out of everything we've chosen for this circuit right now. All the mistakes have been my fault. There's no threat of losing it. Right, we're pitting in this time. One would suggest there's no real need to consider rain for the future. Look at that, 5 minutes 45. We're a minute and 40 seconds up on where we need to be, really. We don't really need the 8th lap. We're going to take the fuel for 2 laps. I forgot to pit. Absolute nugget. 4 minutes 42, 0.3 laps of fuel. Oh, what a complete dillybert. I've missed the corner. One minute and 7 seconds in the lead. 0.3 on the fuel. How many times have we done this? Perfect grind car, I was saying, and I waltz past the pits. What an absolute chisel. Oh, talk about making it difficult. We're a minute and 10 seconds in the lead. We're down to 0.2 on the fuel. We'll be down to 50 mile an hour if we've got 15%. They're all pitting. We're not bothering. Oh, we've got 5% of fuel. Okay, that's not what I thought I had. Okay, 3 minutes remaining, and the first of the leaders are away from the pit lane. We're doing 100. 1 minute 39. Oh, 0.1. Oh dear. This is tragic trouble. I'm looking at my watch thinking, what have I done? Oh, what a absolute... all the cheesy swear words you can imagine. Want to put the old cruise control on. %2 of fuel remaining. Still 1 minute 37 ahead, with 1 minute 45 left on the to go clock. Oh, itchy scratchy. 1%. We're looking at 50 mile an hour to get home. Oh, this is painful. 1 minute remaining on the clock. 1 minute 24 in the lead, and we're going to 0-0. Can we get all the way home at 50 mile an hour? Before it runs out of fuel. There we go, we're out of juice. So everything we're doing now is coasting. I'm just going to bury the throttle. So we're going to get everything. 1 minute 17 remaining. I don't want to pit. We've still got the maximum speed because we're 68. We're coasting. Oh, this is both embarrassing and actually a whole life lesson. What are you like? So there's the time has finished. 1 minute 10 ahead. We're not in doubt, are we? We can get there. 49, 50, 49. We should be able to roll straight through here. One minute and 2 seconds in the lead. Take a nice wide swing through there. And we're on. And we're going to win with a one stop. Oh, words fail me. The one stop. And that's probably as quick as any other car that we've used if we look. Less than 31 minutes. So it's probably third out of all fastest finishing cars. A 4:03, which makes it second or third with the fastest lap. It is what it is, and it's all down to the driver being an absolute, you know. Clean race bonus. There she is. Happy days. 22 million again. How many times have we been there? And the 3-star ticket, which is just what we deserve. Well, folks, if there's anything more to say, it is what a fantastic, fine car. And it's entirely up to you what you do with it, whether you choose to go with that setup or change it slightly, use that as a base, go for the 1-stop, the 2-stop, the 3-stop with lots more power. It's entirely up to you. We were fortunate with rain, and we were also fortunate to be able to miss that that pit stop and really be able to work that fuel. So as we leave you there, thank you very much, folks. We'll see you on the next one with another little surprise. We'll see you. Take care.